should flip a coin. They got the trophy waiting for me where I'm going. Put that banner up. The skills here are so intact. I travel to the future when I step back. Hang time like the dock and you might be stacked. But to stop what we got, man, you might need Shaq. They think our confidence is arrogance, but that's just fact. Destiny yelling how we look if we don't scream back. We are cream of the crop, the top tier. That's why they beating on the drums, cause the champs in here. Yeah. Oh, just look at this piece. Yeah. You were never getting on our level. We go here, we would never settle. So these raised high here, we call it heavy metal. Giving no breaks, feet on the pedal, top three. Up for any challenge you bring. See the results of the last group that challenged the team. Efficiency is high when you challenge the ring. Matter of fact, hold his L and clean. You deserve it. We don't just dominate, we serve it. No guesswork here, we certain. You see the wins and start flirting. We put a ring on it, where's the curtains? Ready. They got me saying I'm hungry. Just look at this piece. You were never getting on our level. We go here, we would never settle. So these raised high here, we call it heavy metal. Giving no breaks, feet on the pedal, top three.
Well, they just opened the sprinkler release, and we were just like, oh, here, because as you see, we're sitting down here. Like, I believe they did that because what we're doing is having an effect. So they're just, being petty right now. But that's not going to stop us. We're going to keep fighting. And honestly, that's a safety hazard. They shouldn't be doing something like that. All my 2 years here, I've never seen that open like that. So just we're gonna be out here fighting.
What's up, guys? Welcome. Sorry for that weird. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and The Good Faith Show is a part of the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And also, too, I got some shameless plugs. Help out Trina on the bottom of your screen. Her Cash App, $ K Brian Stein 4. And also, too, like the video while you at it. Why not? Just hit like and, pushes it out. Because all of a sudden, my last couple of videos on YouTube has been getting traction. So, when you like, that's why people say like the video. When you like the video, more people come in. So, yeah, do that for me, will you please? Good, kind gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen and non-gender conforming individuals. Thank you. So yeah, y'all, the video y'all just seen, y'all know some Amazon workers are striking around Christmas, which is the perfect time to do it because these people are really underappreciated. Hell, like every fucking job sector, people are underappreciated. Like these. The CEOs, the wealthy elite, they don't give a fuck about these workers, man. Hell, my job, for example, I remember last year they were supposed to give us a Christmas bonus, and end up, we didn't end up getting less than what we expected to. We were supposed to get $250, but they gave us $100. So, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, either these corporations give you a pizza party at the end of the year, you give you soda and pizza and and maybe a cake or whatever, or they just. But you really wanted a raise because buying eggs is almost fucking $10 up for fucking 18 for an 18 pack. So yeah, y'all, it's fucking crazy. And Amazon, I don't know who run that facility to run that water on them people like that. Man, I hope Cuomo bite them in the ass real hard for that, man. Like, it is a safety hazard. Like, somebody could fall and bust their ass on that shit. Like that guy said in that video. Like, what the fuck? Like, obviously, Amazon running all these heavy anti-union ads that everybody see on TV, like, oh, we get you these benefits and we do this for you and we give you what they say, pay for your college too. I'm like, a lot of people don't like, yeah, going to college is good, but a lot of people have a family to take care of. They need shit now. They need more pay now. So yeah, y'all, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, man. I thought about not streaming this week because I just been so depressed and out of it, man. Like, I just don't know how. Man, just so much shit transpired. The Marty B stuff, and then, the under the willow tree was in limbo, but now we gonna start it back soon. Willow, she's already recovering from cancer. She's remission of that, and then she got COVID, so we don't know when she will be back. So yeah, under willow tree still on. We just won't have him. I mean, hell, he wasn't even on there anyway. So, but I'm gonna save him for the Tonight Show with Andre tonight. So, y'all enjoy looking at my ugly face now. We'll be prepared to look at it again tonight on the Tonight Show with Andre. So yeah, I came across this tweet on Twitter from yesterday. I'm finna share my screen right quick. Give me a second. This person right here, I'm not, I like her a lot. I think she's a good person. She is a good person. Like, I don't know her on a personal level. She lives in Brazil, but, yeah, give it time to load. Here we go right here. I'm gonna pull it up right quick. Pull up this tweet. I hate when Twitter does this. It's like, there you go. Right here. It says, she says, Mari, this is the person who tweeted, Americans are indefensible. Guess what? They're organizing to do tomorrow since it's the holiday season and many are at home. Not acting short for Gaza being annihilated with their tax money, 70% of it, and destroying a hospital today, but for Luigi Mangione and themselves. And obviously you can see right here, this is this happened today actually. I hope it was a big turnout. I didn't see any pictures of it yet because I try to stay off Twitter. She should get more traction in this, but it is what it is. She got a few more likes and retweets on it. My friend Mari, she lives in Brazil. I'm pretty sure Brazil has healthcare. I 100% get what she's saying. I do. She said Americans are indefensible. Yeah, they are. That's true. Towards a lot of things, like celebrity worshipers, the duopoly coats, just shit like that. Like, you defending individuals that don't give a shit about you. Like, yeah, that's indefensible. But she talking about in terms of Luigi. Then she said, guess what? They're organizing to do tomorrow since it's the holiday season. We are at home. Well, if you're working class, you still working because a lot of people are at home though. My homeboy's job, they plant getting remodeled, so they off for 2 weeks, which is nice. Like, hell, I wish I get 2 weeks off, but if you working class, you ain't at home. And not acting short for Gaza with their tax money, 70% of it, and destroying a hospital today. But for Luigi and themselves. Well, look, Mari, people have been like protesting Gaza like hand and foot. We've been talking about it. I talked about it a lot. And shout out to Tired Peasant and RBN because to their credit, I like giving people credit when credit is due. They have been talking about Gaza before October 7th. I mean, like, I really wasn't educated enough on the topic at that time, but it is a lot of people online and in person that understood what was happening to the Palestinians. So give credit due. But again, like, I'm gonna say this, Mari, I know I'm a complicit. I'm complicit. I get that. My tax dollars goes to they fucking suffering, man. Mari, like, You know, like I'm with you, Mari. I agree with you, but again, like I have to like take a few steps back. Like, whoa, I can't 100% agree with you. Like, I'm with you with this tweet in particular. I'm not trying to shout you. I'm not trying to slander you. I love you. Like, you probably the only decent person on Twitter at this point. Like, you're not a bullshit artist. You believe in what you say. You promote mutual aid. You do the things that I want other leftists to do, but for some reason they have permanent accounts and they just sit on their ass, like knowing that Palestinian people sleep in the tents and need help. But you know, I ain't gonna get into all that. That's not this about. But I understand where she's coming from. But now let me get to Luigi. Now, what Luigi did was an act of not only heroism. A lot of people say he wasn't a hero, and there's people that say we should not praise Luigi. Now I'm gonna get to those people after I get done talking about this. But you have to understand, in America too, Marvin, not only our tax dollars are going to the wrong shit, but we don't know, like, our healthcare system is fucking shit. You see what I'm saying? And what Luigi did, like, the guy was he was a wealthy guy, obviously, right? They say he's wealthy and shit, which it shows you that no matter how much money you make, unless you the top 1%, the healthcare system will fuck you over in some way, shape, or form, or your family member, or a friend, or whatever. But, you know, they treating Luigi like he's this hyperbolic terrorist, like, you know, but they don't realize that Brian Thompson is really a terrorist. He's a terrorist. Luigi's not a terrorist. What Luigi did was an act of retribution. That's what I always say. Like, nobody's pro-murder. You know, I'm not pro-murder. I don't look and see what Luigi did to Brian Thompson and say, oh, I'm pro-murder. I'm pro-murder. Oh, Lord. You know, oh, I'm for murder. No. You know, people get what they deserve, Mari. And that's why the support of Luigi is so high in the United States. You see what I'm saying? Amongst not only the left, the right, the center, liberals, conservatives, we all, for once in our life, coming together. You see what I'm saying? Like, and leftists, like they don't want that. And I'm just, you know, Liz, to a certain degree, she tell me what people be saying on the timeline, because I'm not on the timeline no more like that. But I'm just saying, like, we won. The left won. I mean, like, what more do you want? Like, we won. Like, we was right about the healthcare system, and people, and we should be happy that people are waking up to it, in which, you know, what Luigi did, he woke up people. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, and you know, I'm kind of glad that Luigi wasn't on the left, because, my God, like, if this guy was a communist, socialist, or whatever people describe themselves as, boy, we would get attacked heavily. You know, I'm glad Luigi was wealthy, too. That makes me happy. Like, it shows you that when it comes to basic necessities like healthcare, housing, like, we all together. It's just the culture war bullshit, the race, the race stuff, you know, like Ty President always say, we are in a class war. We are in a class war. And you know, I want people to understand that. Like, I think a lot of the left, I think the problem with them is that we're not used to winning shit. Like, we don't win, but we won in 2024. Like, whoever thought, like, we knew we were going to win with, you know, Jill Stein, you know, the Green Party winning the nomination for president. Like, we knew that. And we didn't win, you know, same with the genocide. Like, still genocide happened in Gaza. But we won with, you got people that like Taylor Swift and Beyonce, the celebrity worshipers, and like Ty President say, and all of the fucking, you know, the MAGA, and you got the liberals coming together like, hell, this healthcare system is fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get your anger. I don't see anger in this tweet. I get what she's saying. Like Mari, like, we people still protesting the genocide. Like, we still showing up for Gaza. I got Palestinians DMing me, blowing me up, every day asking, "Hey, can you help me promote this and donate?" You know, I do it. I do it. No questions asked. You know, I try to be an example. You know, if I'm gonna sit here behind this microphone and saying you should do mutual aid, you should do that, then I should do it. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you almost, but I kind of I kind of disagree with you. Like you saying that, hey, we should show up for Gaza. We should show up for Gaza, but not show up for Luigi. But you know what? I'm gonna say this: why not? We do both. We can do both. I mean, um, we could do both. Like, support Luigi, show up for Luigi and Gaza. Like 2-in-1. Like it's possible. You know, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So yeah. So yeah, y'all. I just had to. I just saw that tweet and I just had to get that out of my skin here. So yeah, y'all. I got a lot to talk about. I got Jamie Peck was on Chris Cuomo last week. She annihilated that motherfucker. Then I got Neil Turner was on Good Bad Faith podcast talking about AOC and the Democratic. And also too, I got Cenk versus Dave Rubin Faceoff. Oh God. So yeah, y'all. This is gonna be. Hopefully, this will be a long video. Like you know, I'm getting like the channel growing. Like I gotta keep streaming. Like this is the way YouTube works. If I stop doing this for a week, like we gotta start all over square one. So, all right, y'all. On to the first video. Okay, guys. So yeah, like this. Wow, you're talking about a showdown between Cenk and Dave Rubin. Apparently, if y'all, some of you that been sleeping under a rock for the last few months, a lot of people suspect a TYT of moving towards the right. Basically, I'm saying like this, appeasing MAGA because you know Trump won the election, and you know if we all knew that if Kamala won, TYT would not be doing this, and then you know Anna Kasparian, it seemed like to me like she's on the line now with the left and all that shit. So she going on all these tempos and all these right wing shows, doing softball interviews with them. So yeah, it's a lot. You know what? Thinking about this, you know, at first I did say like, you know, maybe they're not trying to pee MAGA. Maybe they looking at it a different way, but after what I seen, like, yeah, like TYT, they want the MAGA audience to come and show up because, you know, as my girl Sabby Sabs explained it, like TYT, been through a lot of waves. Like, the first wave was Bernie Sanders' 2016 campaign, right? That's the first wave, right? I remember that, and I still voted for Hillary Clinton that year, which I was a fool. Second wave was the Squad. Cenk and Kyle Kalinske formed this coalition called Justice Democrats. They're supposed to be part of Bernie Sanders' campaign. Like, it's supposed to be like, hey, Bernie Sanders is a socialist, and let's get socialist progressives, you know, in Congress, you know, to withhold their votes and, you know, bring a ruckus to the Democratic Party. Y'all remember that? And then the third wave is Bernie Sanders 2020. Again, like I was more hyped for that. That's when I donated money to Bernie Sanders. Even though still fuck Bernie Sanders for that because the guy gave my email address to the DNC, and yes, I got the emails from Kamala Harris begging for money after the election. Like yeah, like you lost. Like why would people give you money? Like you're a loser. Like what the fuck? But yeah, so, and then the fourth wave is Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders was forced to drop out, you know, and Joe Biden was the nominee, and he ultimately became the president of the United States. And you remember what TYT was saying back then? They said, vote for Biden, and we're gonna push him left. I never forget that shit. Like I need to pull up those videos. Like those motherfuckers still up on YouTube and the internet. And then, and then now the fifth wave the fifth wave is fucking Kamala Harris. The Kamala Harris campaign, like, I mean, they vote for Kamala because she's not Donald Trump, and the same like type of thing. Let's vote for her and try to push her left. Oh yeah, and the last one, Gaza. Remember when October 7th happened? Then TYT was so high on Gaza, and genocide still happening now. Where they at? So yeah. Young Turks been doing a lot of waves. Like they didn't start off as a left wing YouTube channel. Like they was talking about celebrities' camel toes and shit. Like that is some awkward, creepy shit though. Like just looking at that, like what the fuck? Why you worry about why you worry about somebody's toe, camel toe? Like that don't make any fucking sense. But yeah, so I'm done talking. And now y'all know who Dave Rubin is. He was with TYT for a very short time. I don't remember Dave Rubin because I started watching TYT like during the late end of Bernie Sanders campaign and during Trump presidency. But yeah, and apparently Dave Rubin moved to the right. So oh boy, here we go.
In the last few weeks, you will be a fully fledged member of MAGA before we know it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of that. And I'm not like Dave Rubin, a giant sellout fraud.
And why Cenk sweating like that? Look at Cenk's face. That motherfucker sweating like a motherfucker. Damn, bro. Oh God, let me play.
Fraud.
Wow.
Who changed all of his positions and is totally useless. And it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow. Really? After all Dave said about coming together?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've not got no interest in coming together with utter frauds like Dave Rubin. So, brother, you telling me that when you were on the Young Turks, you were Mr. Progressive and you agreed with us 100%. Now, all of a sudden, you agree with Trump 100%. You're not saying something nuanced like we are. Hey, when the guy gets shot at and he puts his fist up, that's courageous. When he does the McDonald's photo op and it works fine, no problem, right? If he wants to cut the Pentagon, great. Those are progressive positions. Anti-corruption, progressive position. Anti-war, progressive position. But you change all of your ideology overnight and you expect us to believe that that's real? I don't think it's real at all. And I want an apology from you for all the crazy, outrageous lies that you told about the Young Turks. When is that going to happen, huh? Wow. And when are you going to admit that?
Oh man, Cenk sweating like a motherfucker. But yeah, but Cenk, I mean, you talking about Dave Rubin, but it's like you doing the same thing he's doing, right? I mean, I'm just saying, oh God, bro. These podcasters, man, you can't take them seriously, man. Like Dave Rubin probably knew where the money was. There is more money on the right, so he decided to go where the money at. Same with you, Cenk. Like Bernie Sanders was hype. You went there. Then y'all went to the squad. You got the squad. Y'all could say to your audience, "Hey, we got that done. We did that." Then your audience could give you more fucking memberships and and super chats, whatever. And then Bernie Sanders again 2020. Then that didn't work. Then Joe Biden again in 2020. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like you can't talk about Dave Rubin because you're kind of doing the same thing he's doing, that guy. Like, oh boy.
You changed all your positions for money, okay? Well, what position do you still have that's in any way a so-called classic liberal, you fraud?
Dave?
Piers, it's barely worth responding to this ridiculous buffoon who's the joke of the industry. I will say this, Cenk, I haven't spoken to you in 10 years. I haven't spoken to you in 10 years.
Fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud or a joke. I think Dave Rubin is, for what it's worth, I think.
I'm gonna say this: both of you guys are frauds. The fuck?
Dave Rubin is one of the most influential and significant voices out there right now, and I admire his honesty about the journey he's been on. Cenk.
Piers, I appreciate that, but the thing is, what Cenk just proved is exactly what everyone in America, and I would say all over the world, is getting over. Nobody wants what he just offered up there. Not only does no one believe it, and he had it prepackaged and ready to go, and it's complete drivel. Yes, I sold out. It's just it's so nonsensical. Again, Cenk, I'll gladly send you a signed copy of the book, and you can read all of my thoughts. And if you're anti-corruption and you're anti-war, you should be on the Trump train.
Shout out to Sammy Sam for bringing this up. This is why I love this woman. She said Cenk is not anti-war. Cenk is not anti-war at all. Like the Libya, y'all remember he was for the Libya invasion. So yeah, like how can you be anti-war? Like what Tosi says, she's anti-war, but she still supports war. Like, yeah, it don't make any sense, man. But okay.
But your endless hatred, the division that you sow, calling everyone racist and white supremacist, all of that stuff, it's why you're not respected. But I don't mean to get into the personal side of that. I'm talking about now something that culturally has shifted, and everyone can see the grift that you're up to, trying to sort of dance with the thing. But it's just not necessary, and I don't think that many people will buy it.
Well,
people are not buying it. Obviously, TYT losing 20,000 subscribers, like that shit gotta hurt, bro. God damn. It's like ATP Network losing 500. That's half our fucking subscriber base. Like we growing slowly, but like holy shit. Like losing one is bad, but losing 20,000? Yeah, people see that your grill ain't working, Cenk. Like you tell people vote for these demo dummies. Like you guys' job, TYT, Majority Report, all these other fucking breadtube motherfuckers, like y'all job is to sheep herd people back into the Democratic Party. So yeah, Cenk, like yeah, you call it Dave Rubin a fraud and a sellout, but motherfucker, like you have a betting, you got a sponsor. It's a betting site. Like you've been so your soul, brother. Like. But okay, let me continue.
Cenk, let me put to you, Cenk, something that Laura. Hang on, Cenk. Cenk, hang on. I'm gonna read you something just to see your reaction. But Laura Loomer called you out on X, as you know, and she said this: "You are the radical left, Cenk Uygur. You're a con artist and an opportunistic grifter who's gotten rich off demonizing President Trump, calling his supporters fascists and Nazis, promoting open borders, glorifying Hamas, and pushing conspiracy theories about Trump for 9 years. If you want forgiveness, get on your filthy knees and pray to Allah, because you aren't welcome on the right, and you aren't ever going to find a redemption arc no matter how hard you pander." And she goes on and on. I'm going to keep calling you out every time you try to move an inch closer to many on the right, because you're too dense and too dumb, because they're too dense and too dumb to decode your subversion, but I'm not. So look, there are lots of people on the right who think.
Damn, son, you got the damn right wingers coming after your motherfucking ass saying you full of shit, Cenk. You full of shit. Damn, son. People know what you're doing, bro. Like, it's not working. Like, if it were working, yeah, I'm pretty sure TYT would be fine. Like, I don't think they dying or nothing like that. I don't think they where MSNBC is at yet. But, like, people just tired of being fucking gaslighted, bro. Like, why you think the RBNs, the due distances, I wouldn't say maybe the ATP networks. Why do you think we growing? Because our audience know, what a little spec audience I got, like they know that, hey, like this guy, he might be wacky and corny and weird, but at least he's not bullshitting me. Like people up to your fucking grift though. Oh God.
That you're on some great move here to, as she puts it, wiggle your way into the middle and over to the right, so you can then poison MAGA with your, as she puts it, subhuman political takes. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay, so look,
that motherfucker sweating hard as hell. God damn.
Look, this is people like Laura Loomer and Dave Rubin are the exact problem. And I think actually somebody else on this panel was part of the solution. That's Dave Smith. And I want to come back to that in a second. So when you have people like Dave Rubin switch all of their positions, what happens is when you go to do nuance and you say, hey, guys, hold on, let me explain. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, go pleasure Trump again. Go pleasure Trump again.
Do you know that
he goes from Bernie to Trump and pretends. Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
I tell people what I believe in.
What do you believe in? You believed in something yesterday. You don't believe in anything today.
Yeah, what position? What position do you think I hold that I don't honestly believe?
Can I answer the question?
Yeah.
Can I answer the question? Can I answer Trump?
Yeah, what position do I say that I believe that I don't really believe? Go ahead.
Brother, you went on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. You went on Tucker Carlson on Fox News and said gay people, that the fact that the fire department was recruiting gay people was why there was forest fires. You're a national embarrassment, okay?
Right.
You pleasure those guys for a living.
You can pull up the clip tomorrow if you want. Okay? I was talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, that you shouldn't hire people based on their genitals or their sexual orientation. And we now all know that. You have been one of the prime pushers of all of this neo-racism. I believe in meritocracy, that whether you're going to be a doctor or a firefighter or a basketball player or anything else, you should be hired on your qualifications, not your genitals or sexual orientation or skin color. Yeah. That's actually America. So you can keep trying here.
I can say this. My thing is, Democrats do use DEI, and usually liberal-based corporations do DEI too. But the right kind of do it in a way too now. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, they have should I say this? They token black, running around, saying things, that's on their level. How you say it? Have a token Negro that basically say things that agrees with it, that they agree with. Like, I mean, both sides do it too. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and say the Democrat dummies the only ones that do it. Like, and why Dave Rubin, like, hey, he knew where the money was. Yeah, hey, he seen TYT. They probably offer him a nice bag. And he said, shit, hell, fuck, this ain't enough. Hell, let me go to the right. Hell, all these. The right got more billionaire sponsors, don't, supporting them than the left. So yeah.
Cenk, finish your point. Then I'll go to Dave Smith.
Listen, yes. When this country desperately needs to unite against the establishment on things we all agree on. So things like all the populists hate corruption. All the populists hate war. By the way, Dave doesn't. Dave will demand that we start every war for Israel and pay for all of Israel's war. So he's been establishment on that all along. But when you go to say, hey, can we get an agreement on things that we agree on? The left pushes back because they're so afraid. They got traumatized by the Dave Rubins in the world. They're like, oh, if you take one step, not even in their.
They got Dave Rubin mic muted. I guess, or lower it down.
Direction. If you allow the right wing to take a step in our direction, they're worried that you're going to be a fraud like Dave Rubin and change all of your positions overnight. So my friends on the left, do not get scarred by this fraud of a man. There are other people like Dave Smith, who
let me bring in Dave Smith.
Is a libertarian. Right. We disagree on other issues.
Let me bring in Dave Smith.
But we can actually unite on the things that we care about.
Right. Let me bring in Dave Smith.
In order to unite, you got to get past the frauds like Dave Rubin.
All right. Dave Smith, welcome back to Uncensored. Obviously, things have.
I'm sitting here like, yeah, you bringing up all these points, Cenk, but like you follow basically, in my opinion, you following into Dave Rubin's shoes, like that, you talking about, progressivism has dried up, like people aren't, like any hot issue, you tend to jump, like, Bernie Sanders, then you had the squad, then you had Bernie again, then Joe Biden, then you had Kamala Harris. Like, instead of doing the right thing, is moving further to the left, telling people like, hey, this two-party system ain't working. It ain't crap. No, no, don't fall in line and vote for Harris because she's not Trump. And now all of a sudden you saying like, you know what, MAGA might not be so bad. Oh no, MAGA might not be so bad. No, they're not bad like that. No. I agree. Let's come together with MAGA. Ain't TYT the same folks that said we should not talk to these people? We should not talk to the right. Stay away from the right. Like, hell, there's some leftists on Twitter like that now. Like, they don't want you to talk to certain people that have certain opinions about stuff, historical events. But like, Cenk, like that what you said, my guy. Like you forget what the fuck you said, and you call it Dave Rubin a fraud. Nah, do I like Dave Rubin? No. I don't really care for Cenk like that. Like, I used to like him, but when people show their ass, as Sammy Saab say, I can't fuck with that. So, yeah. Let me continue a little bit more. Then I gotta get to another part, which is interesting.
Kicked off. I actually thought there might have been a coming together moment, and not the way it went, but it's gone the opposite way. Let's just take what Dave Rubin was saying and then how Cenk responded. But it seems to me that this big tent thing of Trump, I mean, it's very real. His popularity in America has never been higher than it is today. He's got an incredible mandate. The Republicans basically now are in charge of absolutely everything. You've got everyone who formally distanced themselves in 2016 racing down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring and so on. I mean, it's a real opportunity, but it's undeniably an extraordinary coming together of people from all types of political views and so on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just say for the record that I like both Dave and Cenk.
So do I. I agree.
Cenk did work in a compliment toward me, and Dave, you weren't able to do that, so I'm going to be on Cenk's side on this issue now.
Dave, you and I have some differences. I've never gone after you. I like you, absolutely.
That's true. Listen, I don't look bigger than your guys' like personal beef. I think it's what's going on here is really kind of amazing. Well, okay, but I'm just saying if you zoom out here, I think since this last election, people are focused on this kind of realignment and the new political dynamics in America. But if you look back 8 years ago in 2016, during this election, in both major political parties, you had essentially civil wars. I mean, Donald Trump came in and took over the Republican Party against the will of the establishment and the donor class. In 2016, the RNC was floating out the idea of changing the rules, as you remember well, Pierce, all the way up until the convention. They were floating out the idea of trying to steal this thing from Donald Trump. Of course, that same year, the Bernie Sanders movement had to be flat out cheated by the Democratic establishment. So it's not as if these things haven't been building for quite a long time. I think what happened in this election is that the thing that unified people around Trump was one, like Dave, like you said, me and you disagree on a lot of issues. I think a lot of people who ended up supporting Trump disagree on a lot of issues. The one thing that united all of us is that we opposed the blatant corruption of the establishment and the corporate media apparatus.
Nah, let me say this. He said, that's why a lot of people voted for Trump in 2016, because Trump posed himself as this populist, and he raised his own money. He paid for his campaign with his own money, which was a lie. He said that he blamed the immigrants. He blamed outsourcing for the reason why you lost your high paying job, but. My guy, like, this is like you seen Trump run in 2016 to 2020, right? 2017, 2020, right? The guy is the establishment now. Trump is the establishment. Like, I had to pause it there. Like, he's basically George Bush on steroids. Like, the way he's governing things. Like, come on, man. I had to put that in there for a minute.
Which is nothing more than the mouthpiece of the regime, constantly in the business of lying to the American people in service of the regime. And this is so this is how you're able to get a liberal like Bobby Kennedy and a liberal like Tulsi Gabbard and somebody like J.D. Vance or somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy, why they can all come together is that they all oppose the corruption.
Yeah, but the reason why Bobby Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard went to the right is because they betrayed the Democratic Party. Like, once you betray the Demo Dummies, they don't want to fuck with you no more. Yeah, they done with you. Like, once you cross them, man, they put you on terrorist watch lists and shit. so yeah, man, like it's a lot of opportunism happens. Like, I think, material gain, like motherfuckers want power, they want, they want to reach status, that's what it's all about. Like, but I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna get to this next part of the video. I'm not done with this video particularly yet. Let me see. Let me see. I think it's here. All right, let me see.
Said that there were boycott campaigns.
Let me see. Hold on, guys.
I think that she sort of personifies now the ghost of Christmas past, as does Biden. The Democrats have got to move on quickly, haven't they?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. She's indulging delusions of running for governor in California in 2026 and perhaps even running for president in 2020. And I just want to echo what a lot of you guys already said. This past week has been harrowing for me. This Saturday, I went on Fox and Friends and I said that Democrats have a stench of loser hanging over them.
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, there were boycott campaigns against me, unblock, unfollow campaigns. I lost 40,000 followers.
Really?
In 4 days. People have called me the W word. I don't know what we're allowed to say, but you can fill in the blank.
We're uncensored. Let's say it. Say it. Say what the word was.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Well, they called me a whore. They called me the C word. They asked for me to be deported. And you can just search for my name in those terms on X and you'll.
Yeah. Like, you basically gave your opinion. Like, you raised money for the DNC, the Democrats, and they don't give a fuck about you. Like, what? My thing is, like, now you know who these motherfuckers really is. Like, these some dirty motherfuckers. Like, these same motherfuckers that went after my friend on Twitter because she said that Beyonce and Kamala Harris are genocidal maniacs. Which, I mean, if you support Kamala Harris, you automatically supporting genocide in Gaza. So that's what she referred to. And these motherfuckers just scorched earth on her, man. Tried to get Rome's girlfriend mixed into it, saying, I don't know what that was about. Like, Rome's girlfriend dealing with enough, her boyfriend, Rome, he's in jail still. So, like, just a whole bunch of off the wall shit. Like, these motherfuckers are crazy. Like, these ain't leftists. Piers Morgan, on the chapter thing, it says this woman got attacked by leftists. No, liberals. Like, liberals are fucking insane. Ain't these the same liberals that because Kamala lost, they wish bad things on the Palestinians? Like they went mad at the Palestinians. Then they showed them going back to Starbucks and stuff like that. Like, yeah, these people are heartless. And then they attack men, like liberal women, like, black black female liberals, like they're crazy. These motherfuckers say the right do this shit. Yeah, they do, but liberals do it too. Wishing a woman to be deported. God damn. Call her a whore. Call her a 304. Call her all kinds of off the wall shit. I can't repeat on here, but oh my God. Like, I mean, this is the hand you dealt with. Like, you can't criticize. Like, this shit is a cult. I left the cult in 2019. Like, really? Like, I mean, I wasn't a cultist. Like, I didn't do the shit they be doing, but, like, this is why we call the Demo Dummies and the Republicans cults. Like, once you cross the cult, man, it's like a gang. Like, once you cross the gang member, become a traitor, or what they call it, a traitor, you'll get killed. You'll get your hand dealt. So, yeah.
you'll see a bunch of them. So, all these so-called Democrats, the party of inclusion, the party of diversity, masks off. And it's even worse.
A lot of these motherfuckers racist, bro. Lord knows who else would call my friend. They probably call her some racist things too, because she's a Latina. So yeah, yeah. See what I'm saying? These the same motherfuckers that outside during 2020 I seen on their lawns, like, Democrat, I seen a Biden Harris sign, and I seen a Black Lives Matter flag hanging and shit, and an LGBTQ plus flag, and like, these people don't give a damn about black folk. Like, they just doing that in hopeful of the LGBTQ and black folk panther to the Demodummy. That's why they do this shit.
Worse, because they pretend to occupy the moral high ground. At least with the Republicans, they are who they are. But with Democrats, they pretend to be, so loving and caring and embracing of diversity. But all of a sudden, when I dare to utter any criticisms of the goddess Kamala Harris, I get ostracized. Me, after having raised tens.
Man, they don't give a damn. She lost. Apparently, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. He weighed $10 trillion. Like, 10 billion, 10 trillion. Like, they don't care. They showed you. They showed their ass. Like, hey, you betrayed us because, so you can't have an opinion. Like, even though you was a Democrat. Like, you can't have an opinion with these folks. Like, oh God, man! Like, online, man. These people are ruthless. They're crazy. Call you all kinds of names and shit. But all this woman just saying what Liz like she didn't say anything degrading. All she just said is a fact, and this woman did too. Like, same thing. Man, you can say Kamala wasn't man. The shit, I didn't say much or none about that, but I didn't get attacked by liberals, but, man, stuff I would say, shit, they'll probably get my ass kicked off Twitter, boy. Mass reporting it too. Shit.
Called a grifter when all these years, I've said on TV, I've said to the press, I'm a conservative Democrat. This is not a switch for me. This is just me. This is who I've always been. Yeah. And also, my donors are pissed. They raised $2.5 billion across Super PAC in the campaign. It's my responsibility. It's my duty of care to ask what the hell happened with that money? Why did we spend it? Why did we spend millions of dollars on 5-star hotels for campaign staffers? Why did we spend $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed Kamala? These are legitimate questions, but no, in the cult, you can't ask questions. Yeah. And leaving the Democratic Party or even questioning the Democratic Party is like leaving a cult. It's terrifying.
Yeah, Dave Rubin, I mean...
Okay, guys, I'm done there. Now. Yeah, it's a cult. Like, yeah, you can't question them. Like, even though legitimate concerns, like, like the left, like, I question a lot of things about the way some of us on the left move, but again, but if I can't question things, then what's the point of me being in this coalition? Like, everybody should have a right to have their own opinion. Shit. So yeah. By the way, y'all, before I get to the next story, sorry for the noise in the background. I got people over my house, so yeah, it's kind of hectic right now. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. I told y'all it's gonna be a long video. Oh my goodness, man. Like the video, so now I'm about to get to the next story. All right, guys. The next story is about Chris Cuomo and this communist. I didn't even know this woman until I seen her on the YouTube feed. Her name is Jamie Peck. Apparently, you know, I think she coalescing with the Luigi Fund, what the Defense Fund, something like that. If I'm getting it wrong, guys, please apologize. I should have did more research before I got on here. This is what I heard, so I don't think it's hers. I think it's owned by somebody that's anonymous. I think she's just, you know, promoting it. You know, of course, Chris Cuomo, right? You know, he's in the media sphere, you know, wealthy, you know, why are people praising Luigi? Oh, that's Chris Cuomo basically saying, paraphrasing, and Jamie Peck put him in his place, rightfully so. I'm finna play the video, and y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I do. I pause it, so here we go.
Jamie Peck joins us now. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Thank you for having me.
Help me understand, why is it a beautiful thing? Why do you support him assassinating another human being in cold blood?
So I was definitely joking a little bit, obviously drawing a comparison between what Donald Trump said about himself and the sort of explosion, this appetite, this excitement for the conversation that Luigi Mangione started. But I do think to call this an act of terrorism is an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
That right there. How is that terrorism? Let me look up the definition of terrorism. Like, maybe, you know, it's supposed to be people in the justice system. They're supposed to be smarter than me, right? The injustice system. So no, I'm finna look up the definition of terrorism. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Terrorists. Sorry, I can't see it. I can't pull up another screen. It says terrorist, a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in pursuit of political aims. Civilians, like a terrorist act is when you kill multiple people. So yeah, like label him as a terrorist. Like, so basically, you could take that same definition of terrorist and use it towards Brian Thompson, because ain't denying people life-saving treatment, isn't that a form of terrorism? Like, but it's legal. See, it's legal because he wore a suit. You know, he had that blue suit on, right, in that picture right there. Like, see, that's legal. Like, you know, like, so yeah. So, but you know. Oh God, let me continue to cook.
Terrorism is something designed to strike fear into the hearts of non-combatant civilians, right? The general population. Nobody but a tiny class of CEOs has been made to live in fear by Luigi's actions, but nearly everybody knows what it's like to live in fear of having a necessary medical claim denied, the fear of having your life ruined or potentially ended.
Exactly. Like, my dad could be still living if only United Healthcare covered his fucking experimental treatment. It was experimental, you know. It's a new thing they using, but they don't cover experimental drugs. So he slowly died, and he got COVID in 2020. I don't know how he did. His healthcare worker must have got it, gave it to him. I don't know, but he got it. And apparently he had a heart attack, and you know, COVID causes heart attacks, and Dad was already immune compromised. So yeah, that's what I'm getting to. But yeah, like my friend's baby would have been 7 years old if only. Oh God, it's emotional. If only they covered the experimental treatment for that, like for her to have her kid, like. Just these healthcare companies, man, just decimated so many people's lives. People had savings accounts. People had dreams of maybe starting their own business, but they got sick. Like, you know, it's like you being punished for getting sick. But you know, but the real actuality is, it's not punishment. It's just a for-profit mafia makes more money by denying claims because you pay a lot of money into this shit and don't expect no results, like basically. So, yeah. Continue.
By a stack of medical bills. And I think in a system with so much violence that's directed from the top down, it should come as no surprise when violence begins to boomerang back from the bottom up onto the 1%. Also, I would like to remind you on the subject of terrorism, nearly 3,000 Americans lost their lives on 9/11, right? This is the largest terrorist attack this country has ever seen. An estimated 190,000 people are murdered each year by our broken healthcare system. That is the equivalent of 52 9/11s worth of deaths every year. Every single week, another 9/11 happens. So I got to ask, who is the more prolific terrorist?
That's what I just said earlier. United Healthcare, these health insurance companies are the terrorists because thousands of people die, due to not having health insurance, due to denying treatment, so, but one guy, Merck's the CEO, and he's labeled as a terrorist. Oh God. Shout out to everybody that's on Luigi's side in this, like most of everybody at this point. It's sorry for the noise in the background, y'all. Nicotine.
In this equation.
Well, first of all, as you may know, Jamie, terrorism is a specific legal standard, right? There's no question that Luigi did what he did in furtherance of a political agenda. He said it, okay? So I don't see this as a question of fact or law. It's about the policy behind it. What I don't understand, and you are somebody who in your positions is constantly trying to embrace the humanity of situations, right? I've been looking at why you support what you do with what's happening in the Middle East conflict. To me, this seems to be anathema to this.
Maybe she support what's going on. Maybe she support Palestinians because she realized that dropping bombs on innocent Palestinians' heads is a bad thing. But I guess apparently you don't understand that then. And then on top of that, you said terrorism is an anathema. I'm like, my guy, like she just literally gave you a better definition than I did. The fuck? Oh God! Come on, man.
Nothing within a system gets changed by violence. How can you expect? Yeah, we're having.
Somebody need to tell him. Please tell this guy. Remember all those revolutions, like the French Revolution? There's so many revolutions that happened over a few centuries. You want to do things peacefully, but sometimes it just comes to a point to where you just had enough. People in this country right now, man, just generally, just trying to live, people that live in paycheck to paycheck, it's just gonna get to them. They're literally they're gonna be maxed out. They surviving, they trying to make it, they doing things to keep their sanity, smoke weed and relax, maybe drink a little syrup, but this shit is only temporary. A permanent solution to get decent humanity and sanity back is a revolution now, where take all the fucking power from the top 1% and bring that shit back down to us. So I'm not pro-violence, but sometimes you got to do things out of the realm of possibility.
Having a conversation, but we're not having the right one, because the healthcare industry now has high ground because they've been victimized by this chooch. This isn't how we get insurance.
Chooch? What the fuck you call him a chooch, you damn kook? The fuck?
Insurance to be better by putting a bullet in somebody's head? Why would you get behind that?
Now, I've never advocated violence as a tactic.
Exactly. Hey, I'm not. Wow, I guess Chris Cuomo thinks that her and other people online that supports Luigi after his violence all of a sudden, like, no. You just don't get it. But she gonna explain. I'm gonna let her explain.
For change coming from
You're celebrating the guy.
People that I organized with. This was a lone wolf act of violence on the part of Luigi Mangione, and it seems to have started a huge conversation among everybody about the violence, the death, and the murder caused by this broken healthcare system. Again, 9/11 every single week, indefinitely, until someone puts a stop to this madness. So we are here really to advocate for the thousands and thousands of people who have spoken up against an unjust and violent healthcare system, which is not a fact of nature.
Jamie, that's 100% fine. And by the way, it's not new.
It's not fine, Chris. It's not fine. She telling you, dude, why she agree what Luigi did, man. She's saying like it sparked a conversation, and hopefully it'll continue, But obviously, okay, would this lone vigilante act change the healthcare system overnight? No. Only thing it would do is motherfucking CEOs gonna be in hiding for a while. But yeah, you'll only be in hiding for so long. But I'm just saying. But yeah, it's like Chris, don't you see that people are dying each year of health insurance? See, I know you got health insurance. You probably good. But my friends ain't got health insurance. I'm probably underinsured, to be honest with you, because I got an HMO plan, which I heard is horrible. Like, I didn't even know that until recently. Like, that's why I always say educate yourself. Like, so God forbid if I get sick, most likely it might not be covered by my insurance. And I don't even have United Healthcare, but God.
Okay, people have been crusading against insurance companies, but there's no question we haven't gotten changes to the system that are necessary. No question. You're talking to one of them right now. I look this old because I am old, and I've been covering that system for over 25 years, and almost never positively. But you're raising money for this guy's legal defense. If that isn't supporting what he did, I don't know what would be. And again, as somebody who says what my interest is in seeing people treated humanely, you're raising money for exactly the opposite. I don't get the hypocrisy.
Well, I think everybody is entitled to a fair trial, including Luigi Mangione. And as we know,
he doesn't need your money.
Access to a
Okay, he might get the money back, but Chris, again, like, see, you're on the side of the CEOs here. So this is your job, like she said, like, but y'all want to treat him like a terrorist because the reason why they give him a terrorist charge, in my eyes, is because they'll treat terrorists as human in this country, so they want to hurry up and expedite the process. But nah, fuck that. Luigi is not a terrorist, man. He's not.
a fair trial is actually quite tiered based on how many
doesn't need your money.
resources a person has access to. What?
He's got access. You see who his lawyer is? She ain't working pro bono, I promise you that.
Yeah, well, we have not heard yet as to whether or not Luigi is going to accept these funds. If he doesn't need them for whatever reason, they're going to be distributed to other people who are facing political charges. But I think in this
Why
country,
don't you distribute
money is
the
a
money?
form of speech.
Oh, no, listen, I'm not saying you
advocating
can't
for-
do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, Jamie. I'm saying, why would you do it? You have the right to do it. I'm saying, why is it right? Why don't you take the money and give it to people who've gotten screwed by insurance companies?
I think I need to refocus once again.
That's the problem. Like, that's a temporary fix, though, Chris. How about change the system so it can, like, instead of people having to pay to get well, how about let's just let the person go to the doctor for free with our tax dollars? Like, our tax dollars paying for it. Oh, no, bad. I don't know how to frame this. Instead of giving money to Israel and Taiwan and Ukraine, let's get that money back. Let's put it towards healthcare, and let's have a nationalized healthcare system. How about that, Chris? Like, don't that sound good? Jeez.
Onto the murder and the violence inherent in this system that so many people all across the political spectrum, across lines of political difference, conservatives, liberals, Democrats, and Republicans are all excited and energized to talk about this and to have
raise money for them. I mean, I guess it's okay to raise money for people. I mean, people do raise money to get health care, like crowdfund, but that's the problem. Like, people have to ask strangers for money just to fucking have for their cancer treatments or for a transplant or for health, even little frivolous things like what I did recently for a friend. Like, I had to make a crowdfund for her kids because Christmas is here, and I decided to, hey, I'm gonna raise a few $100s for her. I did. It's hard, because it shouldn't be like that. But Chris, see, he trying to sound rational now. Well, if Luigi don't take the money, then why not give it to people that need health care? I'm like, but motherfucker, ain't that what health insurance for? You pay into the system so the system can serve you, but it's the opposite. You pay into the system so the system can fuck you over. But you need more money on top of the money you paid insurance? Okay.
Raise money for the action groups that go after the insurance companies. I'm with you. This is not about the insurance companies. That's my problem, Jamie. I had you on not for sport. I want you to understand that I don't think that the energy that you're putting towards backing this guy is getting us to a better place with the problems of the system. That's my point to you. Use the money you raised for the people who need it, not this guy.
You heard what she said. If he don't take the money, which I agree with, they're gonna use it towards other people that have been wrongfully prosecuted. That's a good idea. A lot of people need help. So a lot of people that's in this injustice system getting fucked over. So, God.
Well, I believe we really need to treat the causes of problems rather than merely the symptoms. And I think if you want to...
That right there. That's the whole video right there. Yeah, you need to treat the causes, Chris. Like, yeah, that does sound like a rational idea to, but, like we pay our tax dollars, there should be no reason for us to have to come up with extra money just to pay for our for people's health care because their health insurance sucks. Like, nationalized system will alleviate fucking like crowdfunding. It'll alleviate people taking out loans. Like, people take out loans and stuff. It'll alleviate medical bankruptcy. Like, I just don't get it. Like, Chris Cuomo, yeah, he's that type of guy that he likes to like be rational with you, but at the end he ain't no better than these other fucking anchors on these fucking shows, bro. Like, Jay Beck cooked this guy, man, and she kept her composure, which is hard to do. He just kept interrupting her. Like, I fucking hate that, man. Like, let the woman speak. Like, you ask her a question, let her speak, then you can rebuttal. Like, God, I hate people interrupt people. It's so rude. Fucking asshole.
What kinds of tactics I do advocate for. I think we need a mass movement. Change comes from the bottom up,
but not a bunch of Luigis.
Down. And I'm talking.
Well, if shit don't get better, gonna be a lot more Luigis out there. Hell, why you think these fucking insurance companies pulling their CEOs off online and shit? Like, even though they Like, I don't know why you do that. I mean, it's videos out there of how much these folks make and who they work for. So, yeah.
Talking about mass resistance to medical debt. If everybody burns their medical bills in front of the health insurance company offices en masse, that's going to create change. And we're just trying to figure out how to use this moment of of popular excitement that has been touched off by, yes, a violent act that I would not advocate for as a tactic if it were up to me, but it happened. And we're trying to figure out how to ride that wave and move this conversation forward into mass action that can really make a difference.
Well, listen, I'm here for it. I always have been, but we're covering it. I would love for that to be the discussion. But as long as this guy is glamorized, it is a distraction. It is not a vehicle for focus.
What's a distraction is that families getting decimated this year because one of their members dies of a denied claim, Chris. That's the problem. And the craziest thing is the media is making it all about Luigi. Like, yeah, I'm doing it too. I'm saying free Luigi. Luigi is a hero. It's pictures of Luigi looking like Jesus, you know. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at the big picture. Like, the big picture is the health insurance company. You know, it needs to be dismantled, and we need Medicare for all system or universal health care, whatever.
But I do appreciate you coming on to make the case. And I'm happy the audience got to hear where you're coming from, because they're scratching their heads about this. Not about what's wrong with insurance, but how this was the solution. Thank you for coming on to make the case.
Thank you.
Yeah. Damn, Chris Cuomo. Oh, God, man. Man, these media heads, boy, I tell you. What are you going to do with them, man? Like, it's bigger than Luigi, Chris Cuomo. That's what she's saying. Like, you know, yeah, Chris Cuomo said, hey, well, how about if Luigi will take the money, use the money for this and that? I'm like, shouldn't have to do that, you know, if the system was right from the start. But the system was always meant to be this way. Like, health insurance companies are meant to make a profit off of sick people. Like, that's what they do. So, yeah, okay, guys, before I get to the last story, hopefully, like the video, you know, if you're on YouTube and Rumble especially, like, it pushes out an algorithm, so if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Try not to repeat myself, but it happens when you have autism, so, okay, last story. Okay, guys, so this is the last story I'm going to talk about today. I guess Nina Turner was on with Breonna Joe Girl on her podcast, the Bad Faith podcast, not the Good Faith Show, Bad Faith podcast, and they talking about what happened in the Democratic Party and why they failed and the AOC and stuff. And you know, I listened to the audio version of this while I was working out today, and yeah, like this part right here that they about to get to, you know. The craziest thing about it is that us left been saying this. We've been saying this for a long time. Like, we told you so. Like, ain't no movement gonna happen through the Democratic Party. Like, Shama once said it. Like, you ain't gotta listen to my irrelevant ass. I ain't shit. But there's been other prominent people saying that, hey, if you run through the Democratic Party, is a dead end. So. But they talk on this clip. He's talking about AOC. This guy from I forgot what that podcast is. Shit, I forgot. They gonna say it on here. He's talking about popularity and all that shit. So, and Nina Turner gonna break it down why that don't work. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna play it and yeah.
Into this question of pushing the party left.
I think there is some angst among a lot of House Democrats that I think is quite misplaced, where, you know, I think they're like, oh, squad, unpopular with the broader electorate, DSA, all that kind of stuff. I would say that AOC, particularly over the last several years, I'm not going to say she has moderated her message or anything like that, because I do not think that, but I think she has been very smart, especially in recent years, on which battles to pick, how to talk to voters, open to people who have different opinions. I think that she's very, very thoughtful, and she's really. I mean, I was always impressed with her, but she's impressed me even more the longer she's been in Congress. So that's number one. Number two, I think from her perspective, whether she's the top Democrat on oversight or not, she's going to get hurt, right? AOC, there could be fucking 5 hours of hearings on C-SPAN that no one will ever see. And if AOC picks up her phone and does an Instagram live, she's going to reach more people. And she's still going to be on oversight, right? Because she was on oversight before. And if they're fucking smart, Jerry Connolly and others on oversight, during these hearings, she'll be given plenty of time to speak. So that'll be okay. What really bothers me about it, right, is that this gets to your point. It reveals a mindset among Democrats that they are missing, that attention is the only thing that matters right now. Or not the only thing that matters, but attention is the first thing that matters. Because if you cannot get attention in this media environment, your message cannot be heard. And if your message cannot be heard, you cannot persuade people. If you can't persuade people, you can't win. If you can't win, you can't govern. So I think that the Democratic Party has still not figured out how important it is to get attention and what is required to get attention. And even if you're a more moderate member, what's required to get attention is not, I'm sure some of the
this guy's a shit lib. My God. Before Nina Turner say what she got to say, attention, okay, it's good to have traction on Twitter, for example. A lot of people do, but my question is, you have attention on social media. If you just gonna say, hey, I just like the attention, but hey, let's make little change, then what's good of that? Backroom deals, that's what AOC said. We make backroom deals. I could have known that was shady from the start. Y'all, man. Okay, I'm gonna let it continue.
them think just yelling and screaming about Republicans and showing the most outrage and this or that. Look, it's tough. You got to be creative. You got to talk like a normal fucking human being, and not like a politician who's been there for 40 years. And by the way, I don't just want to make an age thing. There's old politicians who know how to communicate. There's young politicians.
Bernie is an example.
And there's plenty of young politicians who are unbelievably boring and do not. just to be very honest. So it's not necessarily about age, but everyone needs to know that if you cannot get attention, and attention is not putting out your press releases and giving your board press conference and doing something at the whatever, then you're just not going to be heard, and we're just not going to win.
Okay. AOC, they say she's an attention getter. They're frustrated that she wasn't allowed to be chair of this committee, but they say she's still out there and they have some faith in her as the future of the party. There's even an acknowledgement that Bernie, despite his age, is also a good attention getter who knows how to message and talk to people. Is it about attention? What do you take away from that clip?
I'm dizzy right now. I mean, it took everything I had to finish listening to it, but out of respect for you and the fact that you played the clip. In my head, what is he saying? What the hell is he talking about? That's what's in my brain right now. He said a whole bunch of nothing. Attention for what is my question. To what extent is the person seeking to get attention for? And that's ally or foe, friend or foe. What are you seeking to get attention for? Just because somebody can, has a million followers on Twitter or can, do a live and hundreds or thousands of people watch, what are they watching for? What is the end goal?
I'll use Savvy Sav for example. Savvy Sav get thousands of people who watch her live streams every night. And I'm pretty sure most of them coming out, knowing something that they didn't know. That's a good example, with attention. There's nothing wrong with attention. Same with Ty Peasant to a certain extent. She gets attention a lot, rightfully so, because, she's base, but at least she tells you the truth. I think if people, if you got people's attention and you have a chance to speak truth to power, then that's good. But when you AOC, you get attention and you smear the Green Party, saying that all they run is presidential candidates and shit like that. yeah, like, yeah, that's just a waste of fucking time. It's just a waste of time. It's not true because, like, how can, how you say it? Like, okay, you know, my thing is, yeah, I'll let it continue, man. Hell off my train of thought.
And I surmise that the squad, the Congressional Progressive Caucus, with a few exceptions, because there are some individuals in both of those caucuses who have stood up spectacularly for the people. When I subtract them, those two entities had plenty of opportunity over the course of the Biden-Harris administration to get a whole lot of damn attention. That is attention to change material conditions for the people in this country. They did not leverage their power. They did not make any demands. All they did was write press releases and get attention, but nothing got moved and nothing got done. The federal minimum wage did not go up. They did not do that. This rail worker strike that people have forgotten about already, they sold them under the bus with a few exceptions. There are some members of Congress that voted against that, but others made excuses, including Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman, about why they're going to vote against what the rail workers need when those people were simply only.
Like, Nina, we told you that. You late. Like, you 2 years too late, my sister. Like, yeah, AOC is a fraud. Like, now you know, and you know the Democrats ain't shit. Like, we've been saying this. Like, and remember, when you ran against that other woman in Ohio, I forgot which district that was, but I think George Sheridan interviewed you, and you said when you said what you said, a lot of people just backed off. You're like, whoa. So she just in there, she gonna do the same shit that ALC been doing for a while now, like going on to get along, like the squad's job was to cause a ruckus, like vote down shit, like it's why it's called a squad, like vote down shit, cause a ruckus, fight, like that's all we asked them to do. Then they went from not doing that into the forced to vote shit, which I think Bree talked about it earlier in this part of the video. Yeah, the forced to vote shit, they didn't go along with that because they make backroom deals. And yeah, the railroad strike. Then the Iron Dome. Who forgets about that? Oh God. And then now, the railroad strike. So yeah, like, hey, you late to the party, but hey, we here now.
Trying to get days off. For what? What are you doing? Listen, you endorsed, Bridget, they endorsed President Biden, and I'm talking about way before he was kicked out, because he didn't get pushed out. And the progressives had tried to push him out. They would be calling us every name under the book. But I digress. I'm gonna put that back in the parking lot. The man was pushed out. Let's be honest. He was pushed out. He shouldn't have never ran again, but he decided to, and he was pushed out. Now, if you are a so-called progressive and you feel so passionately that you have got to endorse him because President Donald J. Trump is on the other side, okay, Bridget, I can deal with that. But this is what I can't deal with. Get something for it. If it had been me, I would have said not a hit.
Well, I mean, like, get what? I mean, did they try to do that? Did Biden have some kind of some kind of thing? Bernie Sanders and a few other not far left, but progressive was over there. $15 minimum wage. There's a few other things, but none of that stuff got passed. So you can ask for things, but my thing is, it gotta be some kind of official documentation. Cause I can say, hey, guy, I vote for you, but you gotta do something for me. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's not always the solution. My solution is stop supporting them and either find a third party that that agrees with you. Like, that's what I would do. But here we go.
hair on the head of Congress members Bush or Bowman better be touched. You want me to swallow hard? You want me to get out there and stump for you and get my base to see Trump as the worst, is the second coming of Satan himself? I tell you what, I need some things. Here's my list. The top two things on my list is Bowman and Bush better. They better return to Congress. See, that's how you leverage power. But they didn't do any of that. They didn't do it. The squad didn't do it. My senator didn't do it. He didn't do it. This is how they don't understand how to use power and how to use leverage. And
I'm pretty sure they kind of understand. But the problem is that they, like, my thing is, I think AOC was the ultimate fraudster from the jump, because even her background story is suspect. Like, I heard her father was an architect, and architects make good money, so like, yeah, it's just a lot of things ain't connecting with that. And then, I mean, like Nancy Pelosi threatened her. Like, Nancy Pelosi said, "Hey, you continue to do this shit, I'm gonna get your ass up out of there." And the only reason why APAC didn't fuck with AOC is because
guess what? Those two members were not only attacked, they were attacked mercilessly by dark money groups, particularly APAC, that declared war. That constantly declares war on not just progressives, but black progressives. And I'm one of them. And the Black Caucus sat back and let it happen. The Congressional Progressive Caucus sat back and let it happen. And some members of the squad let it happen. I don't want to hear nothing about they donated, they stumped. They did not pick up the phone and call President Joseph R. Biden and said, "I will swallow hard. I will get out there and stump for you, but here's my list." They didn't do any of those things. They just gave it. And then you have Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez on the stage at the DNC who said that the vice president, and this is not verbatim, but basically something like she working night and day or working hard or not
Tirelessly.
Tirelessly. Thank you,
tirelessly.
Joy.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yep.
Come on. We couldn't even get a vetted Palestinian, somebody that they...
AOC sold her soul. I mean, we told you this, Nina. Like, when you said that you had to get along too as well if you was elected to Congress. So, I mean, that's what happens. Like, you notice she's on corporate media more. She wasn't never the fighter to begin with. Like, AOC really just wanted to be a career politician. She reminded me a lot of Jenks. Like, she reminded me a lot of Cenk Uygur. Like, the same shit Cenk doing now is what she doing. Like, she supposed to be this fighter, like, for Medicare for all. And you remember she said abolish ICE too. Like, what happened to all of that? And now she's basically, defending Biden on his age and shit like that. And at the DNC, like, she supposed to hate those motherfuckers. Like, you're supposed to hate them, like, not be friends with them. So yeah, it's crazy.
They picked speech that they wrote couldn't even go on the stage. The Jewish family that spoke had more love and compassion for the Palestinian people than the Democratic Party did. See, Bridget, that's the stuff I'm talking about. That is what is missing, and that is another reason why they didn't want me there. See, what's power if you don't leverage that power? If you don't make a demand, you just got to let the chips fall where they may on certain things. Those two things would have been on my list. I would have had some others, but those two, my members coming back. My squad members coming back. My Congressional Progressive Caucus members are coming back. My Black Caucus members are coming back. Or is no dice.
Senator Turner, you alluded to the idea that they didn't want you there. Can you unpack that? What kind of pushback have you gotten? Did you, were you disinvited? Were you unable to get an invitation to the DNC? Have you had any contact with, Bernie or anybody else?
I was 8 years a member of the DNC. I just finished my last term at this convention. So let me go back. When I say they didn't want me there, I mean the Congress as a whole. Why I was stopped in 21. I'm sorry, because you're right, because we got listeners who might not know what happened in 21 and 22. But that is why these forces fought so hard to make sure that somebody like me didn't get there. Because I know how to make a demand. I know how to leverage power.
Yeah, because you wasn't pro-establishment enough. That's why you didn't get there. But eventually you started like toning down your rhetoric a little bit more. Like when you said Joe Biden is a half a bowl of shit, which both of them are full bowls of shit. Like, I mean, you didn't have to say half a bowl. Just say both Donald Trump and Joe Biden are full of shit, a whole bowls of shit. Like, when you said that. Yeah, of course they gonna turn on you, like just like that other woman that was on Piers Morgan. Like, she raised money for the Democrats, and she started questioning things, which I don't, which I totally agree with people need to be doing, and yeah, and then it's been a big old attack campaign against that woman. So yeah, no actions have consequences.
And going back to what the podcast America person was saying, which was of nothing. if it's about getting attention for a purpose, I can do all of those things very masterfully. So to have somebody like me to compliment a Bush, or to compliment a Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who has been just, they didn't want any of that, so they had to stop me at the beginning. To not even let me there. But now going back to the DNC, though, you asked me a question. Yes. Yeah, I'm a member of the was a member. My term, I was 8 years in. The chairman that put me there in Ohio is no longer the chairman of the Ohio Democratic Party. My Ohio Democratic Party, they decided, not to renew my membership, which is fine with me. I didn't want to be renewed, but they did in such a cowardice way. Not even pick up the phone. Me and another member of my caucus from Greater Cleveland, who is not even not progressive like me, definitely is loved being a member of the DNC, not so much as a phone call, because they're cowards. And now we see what happened in Ohio. So the ripple effect from the national to states like mine in Ohio, where we have a do-nothing state party that doesn't get it. And we lost Senator Sherrod Brown. They just lost races. Republicans in my state, our state, as you know, have a super majority. People don't even remember that Ohio was a swing state. But that's how a lot of these
I remember
state parties roll. They ask no questions. They do exactly what the national wants them to do. And so even having people like me in play, even as a member of the DNC, is also a bridge too far as well. And let me throw out the college Dems as well, who took a principled stand, Bree George, as you know, while we're on it, and how the nationals even pushed them away, and how you have state parties that didn't even try to help the college Dems. They deserved a lot better. They were right on the war, on the genocide. They are still right, and I want to applaud them again publicly.
I mean, these college Dems, Nina, yeah, they're gonna get thrown to the wayside too. Like, obviously, the Democratic Party don't give a shit about Palestinians, even though, like you said earlier, they're supposed to have a Palestinian to speak. Even though if it's just a Palestinian, they say vote for Harris. Even though Harris said that she said if she was elected president, she was going to bend hand and foot to Israel. I mean, yeah, they like AIPAC. AIPAC bought our government, and that's why I say that. Why in the fuck is AIPAC is not listed as a foreign agent? Can somebody tell me why? Like, that's crazy. So you telling me Luigi Mangione is listed as a terrorist before AIPAC is a foreign agent? Like, make that make sense.
For going against the grain of the National Democratic Party and standing up for humanity in the way that countless generations of younger people have done, from the Vietnam, from the anti-Vietnam to civil rights movement. You always find multiple generations of people, particularly young people, who have a consciousness, who who are willing and do stand up for what is good, for what is right, and for what is just. But the Democratic Party, unless they are done, and there are maybe a couple of state parties.
Damn, I wasn't expecting that. They are done. Yeah, they. Wow, I wasn't expecting that for Nina Turner, but wow.
Parties that get it, where you have state chair people who get it, but by and large, most of them just do exactly what they are told.
Yeah, Democrats don't want to win. Like if they wanted to win, in my opinion, like this is what I believe. I believe that they would not pick Kamala Harris to run for president. I think they kind of knew that, we passed the primary stage. Biden, well, a lot of people, well, you can also say too, like if they didn't want to win, just run Biden until the election. Like Biden would have lost too, because people's bank accounts didn't see no improvement under Biden, just like all these fucking presidents. But yeah, it's like they don't want to win. Like they don't want to win. All that finger pointing shit they doing, like they don't mean that shit. Like my thing is, like, you would have picked a better candidate than Kamala Harris. You would have, if you wanted to win, obviously, you would have stopped the genocide in Gaza. You know what I'm saying? You would have, hell, the bare minimum is, I think, like, the child tax credit. Hell, for example, like the social safety net programs during COVID, during the beginning of COVID, like, when those went away, that's when Biden approval numbers went down, because people's bank accounts went from decent, I wouldn't say good, but decent, to back to where it was before. So, yeah, they don't want to win. Like, they don't want to win. Like, with Trump in office, most of the motherfuckers are rich. Like, they'll be fine. Like, it's just us. It's the working class people in this country that's going to continue to fucking suffer. So,
yeah, it's so, frankly, just refreshing to see a building consensus around the idea that the Democratic Party is done, because I'm sorry, I've been on this journey that largely coincides with the journey of this podcast for the last 4 years. And as I'm sure you remember, one of the main sort of fights that put this podcast on the map and really galvanized the left in the wake of Bernie's 2020 loss was this question of how this inside game was supposed to work and how adversarial these squad members that had been elected were going to be to the Democratic Party. And of course, I'm alluding to this idea of force the vote, where, that really divided the left, because at that time, I do think there was a much more credible argument than there is now that, maybe the squad members are saving their political capital for something down the line. Maybe there is a bigger fight to be had. Maybe they don't want to attract all of the ire of the Democratic Party, who might actually treat them as co-equal partners in the coalition and allow them to do all of the things that John Favreau in that Pod Save America clip says that AOC should be doing for the party going forward. But to many of us, there was already sufficient evidence, largely because of how the Democratic Party treated Senator Sanders in both of those elections, but also how they treated the squad members as they were challenging incumbents.
I'm going to let her finish her point, because Bree is space, but my thing is that, like, Nina, I know you worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign twice. My thing is, after you seen what they did to your guy, right? You said that's your senator, right? Or you could be talking about somebody else, but Bernie Sanders, right? See what they did to him. Like, you see what they did to him, and then you see that what AOC ended up doing, kowtowing to the Democratic Party. They're not fighting. Like, you see all that. And then after Kamala loses because he ran a shitty campaign, now you came to the realization that the Democrats are done. I mean, you're late, but it boggles my mind. Like the left, been telling you this for the longest time. Like, we're just trying to tell you the truth. I'm not sitting here saying the Republicans are better. They're not. But at least the difference between the Democrats and Republicans to me is that at least the Republicans tell me that they ain't gonna do shit. Like, so.
In the races to begin with, but the Democratic Party was never going to play fair. I mean, I remember starting to write up The Intercept in 2018 and covering those races and covering how the Democratic Party, the DNC said that they would blacklist vendors who dared to work for these progressives that were challenging incumbents. So if you build stages and do lighting setups or a food vendor or whatever, and you have the audacity to say, I'm going to do it for an AOC campaign, you'll never work in this town again. We've heard that before, right? We'll never work in this town again. So I found myself going back to reflect.
That's crazy. Wow. It shows you right there. Like, hey, the Democratic Party is so dirty that they told vendors that like helped out AOC's like a squad event. Like, hey, you work for them, you ain't gonna work for us. Wow. And they said the Republicans do this shit, man. That's why we call them the duopoly.
Reflect on what was said at the time around Force the Vote. I wrote an article, I'm so glad I did, for Current Affairs in the fall of 2020. And here's what they were saying about why they didn't want to do it. So here's where I started. Public interest in the Force the Vote scheme spiked on Friday night when Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez weighed in via a Twitter reply to Chargers running back Justin Jackson, who has adopted Jimmy Dore's call to action. Quote, if AOC and the squad don't do what Jimmy Dore has suggested and withhold their vote for Pelosi for speakership until Medicare for All gets brought to a floor for a vote, they will be revealing themselves, he wrote. Power concedes nothing without demand. Here's how AOC responded. She disagreed with the proffered scheme on the basis that Jayapal's Medicare for All bill is unlikely to pass at this time. Quote, so you issue threats, hold your vote, and lose. Then what? She asked. Instead of demanding a floor vote, AOC countered that progressives could, quote, use leverage to push for things that can happen and change lives. As an example, she offered a $15 minimum wage in the first 100 days of Biden's presidency and, quote, elevating longtime progressive champions to important positions in Democratic leadership. How's $15 minimum wage going? And how's elevating longtime progressive champions to important positions in Democratic leadership going?
Well, I'm going to say this. It's like you didn't support Force the Vote because, obviously Nancy Pelosi threatened you, I believe. She threatened you. So you better not support that. You better vote for me. Like the Democratic Party is dirty motherfuckers. and $15 minimum wage, like, did Kirsten Sinema do that? Like, she said, fuck that. Like, $15 an hour ain't shit. Even in the South, it's not much. Because rent went up here too. Like, unless you find a shed or something to live in, like, yeah. But, like, renting or apartment in a decent area, like, good luck. But, like, a committee seat? Like, what does a committee seat do for my friend that's living paycheck to paycheck that I have to make a mutual aid network for as supplemental income because she really ain't got no help with nowhere else? Like, what does that do for anybody else? Like, everybody ain't got a guy that's organized a mutual aid online like me. What they do? What does that do? A committee seat. Like, I never understood that. Like, it's like these motherfuckers fight harder for a committee seat that doesn't do anything. Y'all talk to a couple of CEOs for an hour and grill them, and that shit is just performative shit anyway. Like what? Like, does it actually change anything? Does it? Shit's still shitty. So yeah, miss me with that shit.
Yeah, you were prophetic in that. Writing and that is not going at all. The Democratic Party, as the way that it's set up right now, will never accept progressives. Ever. They just never will.
Wow, you just not notice that? Like, your boy Bernie got burned 2 times. You just not notice that. Like, that's why most people that, well, now on the far left are not fucking with the Democratic Party anymore. Hey, that's like me going to a party. I'm not invited. Like, if I'm not invited to a party, why would I force my way in that motherfucker? Like, they gonna kick my ass out. So, yeah.
And I remember you pushing the force to vote. That other fella, I have nothing to say about. I think he is horrible. And you know who I'm talking about. I won't even grace him by saying his name out of my mouth. But you were right about that. I was one of the ones at the time, because I do try my best, Bridget. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I really like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get the force to vote. I believe in what they're saying. Absolutely. Hey, push it all the way. Because it's better to push for it, fight for it, and try to get it and maybe come up short than to sit back and not. And then you have absolutely nothing to show for it, not even that you pushed for it. But I was of that mind that, okay, all right, let them try to figure it out behind the scenes. They working behind the scenes. I don't even remember, you and I may have had a couple of conversations over it, just.
But the squad was not put there to work things behind the scenes. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they meant to fight, cause ruckus. We're going to cause a ruckus to the Democratic Party, remember? Like, this behind the scenes bullshit? Yeah, that doesn't sound right when that wasn't supposed to be your agenda. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, that don't make any sense. Yeah.
On the sideline, I did believe, like, okay, let them try to see. Maybe they don't want to do this because they're trying to leverage for something else that we don't know about. Because a lot of times, and this is true, this is not an excuse. As somebody that has served in an elected office, been in caucuses, been in meetings before the meeting, been behind the scenes, sometimes elected officials are angling for something else, and they have made a deal on a certain thing to get another thing. Sometimes that is true. And so I think that's another reason why I was more willing to say, okay, maybe they got something else percolating that's going to be equally as good or close to as good. That was my hope, and I was wrong. Forced to vote was absolutely right, because what they did is, not only did they not get Medicare for all, they got none of those things.
They got nothing. Wow, committee seat? Oh, wow, yay. Again, yeah, like, forced to vote was the right thing. And it doesn't matter who led the charge on it. You ain't got to like that person. Like, a lot of people don't like them anymore. That's their prerogative. I mean, I ain't going to tell you how I feel about them. It's irrelevant. But, like people forgot the squad was supposed to be there. Like, it's supposed to be like the Tea Party. Like, the Tea Party did what they were supposed to do, like cause a ruckus. Like, that was what we told the squad was supposed to do. They got there and motherfuckers tried to help them. Like, force to vote was a way of helping them. Like, hey, y'all can force to vote to, like, it's called force to vote for Medicare for all. Like, same thing with Jill Stein. Like, we knew Jill Stein wasn't going to win, but if you fight hard for people to start to vote for her, she'll get to 5%. She'll gain leverage. Same with that. You force to vote. People on record, because everything is they leave a paper trail. We'll find out who voted for Medicare for all, who didn't, and then what you do is, this is what was supposed to happen. The folks that didn't vote for Medicare for all, you find people in their district or whatever that's for healthcare, vote them out, then get people that support Medicare for all. Then eventually you can have another vote for it, and maybe it'll pass. That's what forced to vote supposed to do. It's supposed to bring universal health care to the forefront. But it couldn't even do that, because of threats and also, committee seats. So that's more important.
Things that you just enumerated at all, and lost the favor of a lot of the people in the progressive movement. They also lost leverage and power, because see, now the other side, the neoliberal side, knows what they got to do and what they got to say to keep the so-called progressives quiet, keep them in their place. They're not going to fight as hard. In other words, they got their number.
Yes. I think that's exactly right. And you're seeing that. That's what the pod save, I think, narrative is really doing. I think David Sirota has done a really good job of pointing out how Jon Favreau in particular has a long history of, I think, working for a think tank or some group whose objective was to counter popularity around Medicare for all with these private insurance, Pete Buttigieg, Medicare for all who wants it style alternatives. And you see that in the messaging where he will compliment AOC for being able to build consensus with more moderates. He will compliment her for, quote, what do you say, picking the right battles. He'll compliment her for being able to break through and get a big audience and message to a lot of people. But he's very light on the substance of her messaging. And I think you're right. The left has been divided. It's not over, quote unquote, force the vote, but it's about the confidence level we have. And force the vote was emblematic of this. But the confidence level that we had in the Democratic Party being a vehicle for change, in the progressives being able to push the Democratic Party instead of being pushed by them. And I certainly don't hold it against anybody who wanted more evidence before they came to this conclusion. I mean, for all of the bombast and some of the tone that I might not have chosen for myself, Jamie Dorr was the first actor. I came along, shortly thereafter. There were many other people, Crystal Ball, Cornel West, Chris Hedges, Kyle Kalinske, who were all very supportive of this. Yeah. And then over time, I have seen more and more people who maybe weren't convinced at the force the vote moment, but who were convinced when 2 or 3 months later, Joe Biden sabotaged and Chuck Schumer sabotaged the fight for 15, or who were convinced 4 or 5 months after that when they bifurcate Build Back Better in a way that was seemingly designed to get all of the social spending stuff to fail, who were radicalized after that over the vote to crush the rail strike, and who were finally radicalized in the 2024 election when they saw Bernie Sanders and AOC come out and endorse Joe Biden so prematurely, to not hold any space for, I keep saying that, not hold any space for a primary, and to even be defending Joe Biden staying in at a time where even liberals like the Pod Save boys were saying that he needed to get out of the race and Kamala Harris needed to take over. And so now we're in a place where I think there is a consensus. I just want to say for the record on the podcast, I'm not interested in I told you so's as much as I am as finally being united together so that we could talk about what the left should be doing in this moment to try to capitalize on this broad feeling that the Democratic Party cannot be pushed and that we need to do something different, and that third parties, developing them, growing them, fixing them, reforming them, whatever it is, needs to be a part of that. So I want to give you a chance to speak to that. You brought this up. How are you feeling about third parties? How are you feeling about the Green Party?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it right there. I've been kind of like interrupted a couple of times, so if y'all see pauses in between the video, I apologize. So yeah, that was a lot. I told y'all this was gonna be a long video. I had a lot to say. My final thoughts is that, and also in the beginning of the video, she said that Nina Turner said that we need to form third parties and stuff like that. Like, that's why we was behind Jill Stein, Claudia De La Cruz has some support. Cornel West had a little support. Like, I still believe that due to the stakes of this election, I believe that all of them should have coalesced together for one party vote, but it is what it is, democracy, right? I guess there's exercising democracy, but I'm talking about the third parties. There's no democracy in America. That's sad. Even third parties fucking exercise democracy more than, the Demma dummies do, because, Demma dummies kick you off ballots in states they feel like they can win. That's crazy. They try to kick Jill Stein off the ballot. I think Claudia De La Cruz too. They try to kick off the ballot in Georgia, and they lost Georgia. So, Georgia is not a blue state. It's 2020 was just a weird year. I guess, the only reason why Donald Trump lost in 2020 was because he couldn't fucking handle COVID, couldn't handle a pandemic. And also people forgot about this too. He dismantled Obama's like response team to viruses and shit. I forgot what they call it, but he dismantled it a year before the pandemic started. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, y'all. So yeah, y'all, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry, if it's a little bit, sorry for my camera quality. It's better, but I gotta get my lighting quality. I need to put like a light right here shining behind me, so that way I can show my natural skin color. Cause I look like this light setup make me look so fucking ugly, man. I tell you. So yeah. Final shameless plugs. Support Trina. Still waiting for her GoFundMe money to come in. It ain't much, but it'll help her. You can support on Cash App right there. Her cash tag is $K Bryanstein 4. So yeah, guys. And also too, before I go, I gotta show y'all something. Hold on. So okay, guys. So this right here is this is for tired peasants, aka Liz. This is what this is. It's like supplemental income for her. It's not for a particular cause because I know her story. She said it a lot of times. She's just a typical working class. You work you work a full-time job and you don't have enough after your bills for stuff, and then you got kids on top of that, which makes it really difficult. So this is what this is. So far we got $50 pretty quickly. Shout out to Swizzard, the miserable socialist lizard. He donated. That's for me. That's my name right there. I'm the organizer of it, and I'm not gonna read this. It's a lot. You can read it yourself. Go on my Twitter if you follow me on Twitter, and it's pinned on top. So you ain't gotta watch the video because I'm whack, but you just click on the link and it'll take you to this site. So yeah, spot fun. So okay, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this this episode. I wasn't planning to do episode this week, but I seen like, hey, we getting more eyeballs on our channel on YouTube, especially, and Rumble too as well. So gotta keep going. If I don't know when I'm gonna do another episode again, but I'll let you guys know. So all right, guys, thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show. I'm Andre Morton signing out. Have a good one.